All right. I think
here.
we're live. Are we unmuted?
We did it.
We had some technical difficulties, but I think we're good to go. So if you guys could let us know in the comments if you can hear us and see us, that would be really helpful. But I do see some comments already coming in of where you guys are coming in from, so that is fantastic. Just hoping you guys can see us and hear us. And once I get that confirmation from anyone, I think we're ready to just dive into this live. But I would hope. I know some people were on here earlier commenting.
Yeah. Okay, you hear us. Perfect.
All right. Thank you so much, David. All right.
It takes a couple seconds to get back to us.
It does, yes. So, proof of life. We are alive.
We're here.
Yes, and well. Happy
Yep.
to report, doing well. I think the first thing that we want to address right off the bat is we have been getting a lot of comments of where are you? Why aren't you posting videos? Are you okay? Are you alive? And we really do appreciate the concern and support. That really means a lot to us. I know that might sound a little cheesy, but it makes me feel good that there are people out there who care about us. So there's no long answer. The answer is that we've just been extremely busy.
Yeah. We've been working, so as you know, this is our full-time gig, and it's not just YouTube. YouTube is a small part of that, I would say. Probably
Yes.
20% of our overall jobs. We do run our blog, getawaycouple.com, where we post 2 articles a day. So that takes a lot of work, and we do run a couple of other businesses with the Mortons on the Move, and I point to them like you can see them. We're up at their property here in the Upper Peninsula, and their RV is right over there. And with Kyle and Olivia of Driving and Vibin', which were just here and just got a brand new RV, so we were happy to enjoy it with them.
Yes, we've been, I feel like in the very beginning, YouTube was our main thing. We spent a lot of time and energy on it, and we still do spend a lot of time and energy on it, but we have diversified our income, which is always a smart thing to do. So, yeah, sometimes a couple things get put on the back burner. Sometimes a blog gets put on the back burner, sometimes something else. But so for once, I feel like the first time in 4 years, YouTube got put on the back burner. And we appreciate your concern, but that's where we're at. We are actually going to Hawaii in a week and a half. And I'm really, really hoping to sit down and edit some videos because we have been filming content. So we do have stuff that we want to share with you guys. Someone did ask us, where have we even been this summer? And we moved our way up. We spent a good chunk of the beginning of the year, I think March through May, in Texas, just actually spending time with Jason's sister and
waiting for the vaccine, trying to see that rocket launch that took us a full month of sitting there while our RV just slowly rusted in southern Texas at the very southern point.
Saltwater was not friendly.
And then not getting to see the launch. But we got to hear it. Now I want to go back down there to see
an actual launch. Yeah. That'd be nice.
Anyway.
Yes. And then we just worked our way up. It was kind of a speed round, but we, shot up through all those central states that we just haven't been to yet, which included...
We didn't get to spend too much time there, but... I spent my birthday in St. Louis, and we had a great time. I had a friend come out, and you've seen all of those videos. And from there, we actually had to go get work on our RV done at Grand Design. We had a couple issues that they were taking care of, and unfortunately, it fell over the 4th of July weekend, so we were in Elkhart, Indiana for 2.5 weeks. So we weren't really doing much. We were kind of moving from hotel room to hotel room. I think we were in 3 different hotel rooms in 2.5 weeks with all of our stuff from our RV. So it was kind of a big shuffle. So that's part of why we didn't have a lot of content for YouTube, is we were doing that. And then at the same time, Kyle came up to Elkhart and got his brand new Alliance RV. And so then after that, he wanted us to travel with him to get him used to the fifth wheel lifestyle. So we all came up here to the Morton's property up in the Upper Peninsula, and we enjoyed, I think, 2 weeks together up here. And so that's the second half of why we haven't been posting very many videos, because up until a couple days ago, the internet was kind of slow, and so any of the little bit of work that we could do got put off.
Yes.
But
oh my goodness.
But I always like to talk about this.
I know.
Because it's always so exciting.
Telling everybody you know.
We got Starlink, and so that's how we're doing this live right now from up here in the Upper Peninsula. We had barely working internet, and we were able to get Starlink working, and I think it's working great. So yeah, feel free to comment and let us know how the video quality is.
Yes.
It does have some hiccups because it's in beta, so if you see us freeze or something for, 10-20 seconds every 20 minutes,
it's okay.
I see the tall tree that's obstructing the satellite a little bit. It shows on the cool Starlink map, but it's like 40 feet in the sky, so I'm not going to go up there and chainsaw it off.
No, especially not on the Morton's property.
Well, Tom would do it for sure. But
yes, but we will most likely be writing, a blog article, maybe even making a full video about it and letting you guys know how we're liking it. We're really putting it through the ringer up here. I'm actually shocked we could go live with it, because literally our internet 2 weeks ago was non-existent. We could barely even get a page to load. So, and now we're doing a live stream, which is shocking. So,
yeah, so bear with us. People are saying that it did stop and skip
freeze.
ahead, so some of that stuff will happen while we're working through beta. But
yes. Oh, the RV geeks are here. Hey
guys. Hey guys. Just to
let's kick it off.
Let's get
started.
All
I feel
right.
like we started really frantic, and now we can relax a little bit.
Yeah. So we're going for drinks. This is a light-hearted ale. So it's a Michigan beer, and it is an IPA. And this one is a light IPA. It's like, this is one you don't drink to get drunk. It's like a 3% beer. But if you just want to have a beer after work or something, it works great.
Yes.
So.
And I'm keeping it classy with the Trulies. Mango flavor. So cheers. Woo! But it feels good to be back with you guys and actually do this live stream and let you know we're live. So I need you to show me real quick, how do I share comment on the screen?
You click add to broadcast. Ray took over sharing comments because she doesn't like the way I do it.
You were just a little slow last
Right.
time. That's it.
So see it
this
right
is
there?
the first question.
Broadcast.
We're going to answer it because they posted this question. Is it Zara or Zara? Posted it before the broadcast even started. So we're going to get this one answered. Oh, it's a little dark.
Overlay has been added.
Oh.
And also, we just switched all of our software.
I think I can put it up here. Can I do that?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I change the color?
Yeah, go ahead. Start working on that. Maybe this little thing right here. We just changed all of our streaming software, so there's background.
Perfect.
From my computer, which was an old Mac laptop, and Ray just got a brand new pretty iMac that's colored. What color did you get? Green?
Yes.
And it's beautiful. But we did this 10 minutes ago. So there we go. That looks a lot better.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll do it that. Okay, so what
Perfect.
is the best way to figure out if your truck will be able to pull a fifth wheel trailer? I mean, my answer is the manufacturer's website.
Yeah.
They have every manufacturer for every make and model will have your towing capacity. And that is actually how you should. I wouldn't trust a dealer. I wouldn't trust YouTubers.
Yes.
I mean, you could trust us. But
some of the trucks that you'll actually have it printed on the inside of the door, and it'll show gross combined, all of the different ratings. So you'll just have to Google all the different ratings off the top of my head. I know what they all are: gross combined vehicle weight rating and all of that. But it depends on how you're towing. If it's a fifth wheel and so it's attached to the middle, you have to make sure you don't go over your total combined weight rating. You have to make sure you don't go over your rear axle weight rating, and so you have to figure out what your truck can tow for completely and what it can tow on the rear axle, and then you have to look at the fifth wheel and you have to tell how much the whole fifth wheel weighs and how much the kingpin weighs. So like how much direct weight it's putting on your rear axle, and make sure you don't go over those. There you go.
Good
It's
job.
as simple as that.
Perfect. The next question. Alan asked, I don't know if it'll put the whole thing on here, but that's okay. It says, knowing how much you two like to explore the Pacific Northwest, any plans on heading north? And hey, the US-Canada border is set to open, so perfect timing to explore. We are heading north, but the opposite direction.
South?
No. Instead
Northeast.
of northwest,
All right.
northeast.
All right,
That's what I
northeast,
meant.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are planning to do fall in the New England area
Yep.
this year.
So tips, send them our way.
Yes, recommendations.
It's gonna be fast.
Yes.
We are going to Hawaii, if we didn't say that, for 2 weeks, and then we are coming back and we are going to spend a week with our friends in upstate New York, and then go as fast as we can to see all of New England before it freezes our Southern California blood. So the campgrounds we're looking at, we're going to be there like the last week, but I heard it's going to be beautiful, like October time frame. So yeah, send us everything you got.
Yes, definitely.
Hello from Bar Harbor. I saw that. We're definitely making our way up to Bar Harbor.
Yes, Amy said
Yeah.
that. So let us know your recommendations, Amy. And I'm now scrolling through all the hellos, so let's get into some of those questions. Oh, this one made me laugh. Thanks, Rich. No one cares about you, but we all care about Carmen.
Well, she's passed out on the floor right here.
She is, I swear. When she wakes up a little bit, we'll show proof of life for Carmen too. I think our voices put her to sleep after all these doing all YouTube videos for so long, talking to each other about business. Like sometimes she'll be sitting up in the living room looking at us, and then her eyes will she'll sit up, but her eyes will close. Like we are so boring. Our voices have just totally put her to sleep. So let's see. Oh, yes, traveling cat. Said if you need any tips for Hawaii.
Yeah, we'll take them. We're going to be on Oahu for a week and Kauai for a week. And we're going because we had a timeshare previous to RV travel. And we used it every single year, and it was great. And then we started RVing, and we haven't used it since. And so we rolled over our points for 3 years, and then they maxed out. And so literally an hour before the points expired, we were trying to book somewhere, and a 3-bedroom place came up in Hawaii, and so the Mortons and Kyle and Olivia will be joining us in Hawaii.
Yes.
So that's why we're going.
So we're very excited.
Yep.
So Mr. Roboto asked, how are the hydraulic stabilizers? So ever since they were fixed that second time around, which was a total replacement, they have been great.
Yeah, they replaced literally everything from all of the jacks to this hydraulic slide, like the rams to push it out, and all of the hydraulic tubing, and all of the jacks. Everything was a complete replacement. So, yeah, doing great.
Yes.
No worries.
Oh, Matt Fry's with us. Hey, Matt. He says he loves your shirt.
This is new. This is a test print.
Is that even on our website yet?
No.
No.
Not for sale yet. Ray doesn't like the red. Where is it? Right there.
Yeah, I'd love to get everyone's opinions,
But
actually.
I know. It's
What do
a
you
Michigan plate. And so, I don't know. I could change it out to be a blue. Like, there are different Michigan plates, but I liked it.
Yeah,
'cause it
let us
stands
know
out.
what you think of the red tee.
Yeah.
Because should it be blue? Is it fine red? You know, let us know.
Yeah.
All
We would
right.
appreciate it.
Oh, I'm going to share this because we need to talk about Tammy real quick. Tammy is our VA, and she's also the moderator for this live, so you will be seeing her comment in there to give us the best. And also, if you're not on your best behavior, we have given her full reins to kick anyone out who's being rude or creepy So that's Tammy. She's
Yeah.
awesome. We love her. Be kind to her. Follow her recommendations. She shares links as we're talking about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She does it all.
Yes.
Traveling cat photos again. Yeah, that one. I like that.
Which one?
Right there, the one you keep
This?
scrolling
Oh.
back and forth. Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks for the Green Mountain Grill smoker tip. I know. I love mine so much. We actually just had pizzas. If you don't have the pizza oven attachment, you got to get that. It makes the absolute best home wood-fired pizza I've ever made.
Yes.
Also the only home wood-fired pizza I've ever made. So, I don't know.
Yes.
But,
well, and the RV Geeks are on here, and we had it with them earlier this year in January, so they can attest that pizza night was awesome.
Yeah.
So maybe you can, since you said you got the grill for Father's Day, maybe the smoker can be a birthday gift, or Christmas, or, just, hey, I want some pizza gift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Which membership campgrounds do y'all use the most?
Thousand Trails. Absolutely. Thousand Trails is always like our lazy campground membership, and it's so cheap once you've been in the system long enough that we automatically go there. It's pretty easy to book campgrounds, and although it's very confusing, we're trying to figure out the campground membership that's right for you. You pour over all the details, read all the blog posts we've done, and then you get your membership, and then you don't pay attention to any of the rest of that because you just go into the portal and it shows you which are your campgrounds, and you can just book them. And so and then it'll say if it's available or if you're not able to book it, and so you don't need to know the rules anymore.
Yes.
Over them, so.
And a lot of people ask us about Thousand Trails, that booking system for big rigs, and it's rare, but I think we've had more on the East Coast parks. We've had a couple of come back and say, oh, we don't have accommodations for your size. But
yes.
So they'll also tell you that, because a lot of people are like, well, if it's first come, first serve in picking a site, you make a reservation, but then normally when you get to a park, you don't have a site assigned to you. You drive around, you pick any of the empty sites. And so a lot of people are like, well, but I have a big rig, and what if all the big sites are gone? And normally all of their sites can fit a big rig. What are you laughing at?
It's just Brits and Brits.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Natalie, don't worry. She's just sleeping.
She swear Carmen's alive.
She gets free run of the property here, and she takes herself on walks through the forest behind us every day, so she's tired.
Yes, she has been so spoiled up here at the Morton's property. She loves exploring up here. She's tuckering herself out every single day.
Yep.
So, you want to do this one?
Yeah. We haven't spent a ton of time there. Kyle and Olivia are from Fairhope, Alabama, so anytime we pass through, we would stop there, and then from there we would go to Orlando. And so we definitely just need to spend more time there. I think the only thing we've really done exploring is the Florida Caverns there in the Panhandle, right? Usually we're driving through.
Yeah, it's an area we'd love to spend more time in. Yes. Absolutely. And that didn't add. We are not going to the Grand Design Rally, unfortunately.
We're going to be in Hawaii.
Yes.
So
it overlapped this year.
They planned it when we were going to be gone.
They did it intentionally. No. It's that rally. I almost feel like they need to break it up into two, or it's so big. And I believe this year, I can't even remember, it was close to you could have 1,000 people and 500 rigs, I think.
Yeah. But
it sold out in less than 15 minutes. I almost want to say 4 minutes for some reason. That's sticking in my head. I feel like I saw a post about that from Grand Design. But that rally is
it's crazy. I mean, they still make us book it. And so even if we weren't on top of the game we usually aren't, we probably wouldn't have been able to get in anyway.
Yeah, I
know the Chad and Tara were driving when it opened, and so
she was still on there though.
Yeah, they tried to get their ticket, but it sold out. And
Yeah,
so,
that's why I think it was 4 minutes. It was like
Yeah.
if you weren't on there and you didn't already have your place in
Yeah.
line, you weren't getting in. It was wild.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Judy asked, is the baby coming with Kyle and Olivia to Hawaii? Yes, she is.
Yep.
Little Nora is like the best. She's so sweet. She's so kind. Ugh, I just love that little girl so much. I cannot wait to spend more time with her. It was so nice to have them all up here on the Morton's property and just get to hang out with each other and chill. But fun fact, it's my birthday August 12th, Nora's birthday is August 13th, and then Caitlin Morton's birthday is August 14th. So, lots of Leos in this crew here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do that one.
Let's do this one. All right, Andrew asks, when you have to go dump your tanks, what's the best kind of places that have been most convenient, easiest to get in and out? Gas station or RV parks or other places? Well, we do use Campendium to find places.
Yeah.
So after we've been boondocking, we typically want to go empty our tanks as soon as possible. And Campendium will show you. So what we do for the easy in, easy out thing, Campendium will tell you what they are, but then we'll take that location, we'll look at it in satellite view. So whether it's a gas station, a city dump station, a truck stop, we will look at it at satellite view and see how hard it is to get in and out, or how much space they have, or if it has a covered area, or if it's out in the open.
Yeah.
But it's been relatively easy.
Well, we'll dump our tanks anywhere.
We always find a place.
Yeah, we'll dump them pretty much anywhere that will let us. But yeah, it's always satellite view's the best thing, right? Just map your route in, dump, and the way to get out.
Yes.
So, but yeah.
Out in the West, it's a lot easier to find these places.
Absolutely.
But yes.
You can always book a night in a campground too if you need to dump your tanks. You're passing through a single night. You can refill your tanks, dump your tanks, and you're good to go.
Yes. So Wayne wanted to know, do you guys get prescriptions when out of state? If so, how does that work? So
Two different ways.
Yeah, we don't have like prescriptions that we need every month. So when we get sick or we need a prescription like that, we have a nationwide PPO plan, and we use the telemedicine feature, and we just make sure you select, when you're calling, you select the state that you're currently in, and they'll connect you with a doctor in that state. And then if you do need a prescription, that doctor will ask you where you are or what your preferred pharmacy is. So now if I'm sick and I feel like, I'm gonna need antibiotics or something, I will actually just find the closest pharmacy, and before I even have my doctor's appointment, if they're like, okay, we need to send you a prescription, I already know what pharmacy I'm closest to, and I just give them that pharmacy.
Yeah, and if you do need to get reoccurring prescriptions, you can either get multi-months, like say a 90-day supply, talk to your doctor about getting it, and get it shipped to a mail forwarding service. I've looked into that for something, and they can ship to the mail forwarding service, and then you can get it forwarded to you wherever you are, and that way it's still in the state of your domicile. And then the other option is to get your prescriptions at some of these nationwide chains, like Walmart are freaking everywhere, CVS, Walgreens, and they have all of your prescription information internally. There are definitely some laws depending on what you're getting prescribed. Like, you're not going to get like pain medicine just like all over the U.S. There's certain definite laws, so that's where you do like the mail yourself 90 days supply kind of thing. But it's not hard.
Right. I guess it just depends on the type of medication.
Yeah.
But yes, if it's not like a higher class medication that's harder to get, it is fairly easy.
Yeah.
So I love this question. Let's talk refrigerators. Do they actually freeze ice cream? No.
Sometimes.
So, okay. these are the tricks that we've learned, and some people say yes, and some people say no. So,
not as cold as we would like.
No, not like, firm ice cream. It's like mushy. But, so residential refrigerators will firm your ice cream.
Yep.
But these RV refrigerators, we've never been able to get ours to actually keep ice cream firm, and we've heard keeping it in the lowest left-hand corner. So we've tried that. That's where we keep our ice typically too. Yep. We've tried keeping ice cream over there. It does work a little bit better. We've heard actually not having ice in your refrigerator and just having ice cream in that corner would help.
Not making ice cubes.
Right.
That's a big one, because the
yes,
freezer's using all that energy to freeze the ice.
Right. Yes.
So.
And then I feel like I had one more other
It keeps
trick.
it frozen. Let's specify. It keeps it frozen, but when you get into it, you're not bending any spoons. You're cutting through it like a hot knife through butter, and it's disappointing.
It's gross.
We still eat ice cream. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing.
Anytime we're with our friends that have a residential refrigerator, we get really excited because we buy ice cream and we keep it in their freezer, and it's like a little treat of oh, we have hard ice cream. But if anyone else has any tips, I would love for you to put those in the comments, because those are the only tips I know, and they haven't helped us, but they have helped others. So give those a try. Try not having ice in your ice cube trays, and try keeping your ice cream in the lower left hand corner, and tell
just
us
to
how
give
that
you
works.
an example too.
Oh, okay.
I just looked. These beers weren't that cold. They were actually in the ice chest outside, the boat ice chest, because we were taking out the boat up here. And so Ray threw them in the freezer to cool it down, to cool them down, and it was at 14 degrees, which is still not optimal up here running on propane. But just putting in 4 beers, it's dropped down to 22. Or rose up to 22.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
7-degree differential trying to freeze something. So I don't know.
And we have our fridge on a pretty low setting too.
We have fans on the back too, and it's 80 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot and humid today.
All right, that's enough of the ice cream.
Okay. All right. Should we answer this one?
Yeah.
All right. Samuel asks, "What do y'all do for a living?"
We do this. No. We are, I guess, multiple things. First is YouTubers, as you can see. We started this because I still had a full-time job when we hit the road. I did cybersecurity. Ray was a project manager, but when we hit the road, she transitioned into running Getaway Couple. And she's got a type A personality, and so if she didn't have a task to do, I would have been in a lot more trouble than I am now. We grew YouTube thanks to Ray learning video editing, which is something she had never done before, and we grew our blog slowly, but then we've transitioned now into photographers and video editors and social media managers. Yeah, so for Getaway Couple, we have our blog where we post 2 articles a day. We have YouTube where we traditionally post an video a week, and then we have Instagram and Facebook and all of that, and then we also provide social media managing services for a couple companies under Getaway Couple. We have also started a publishing company with our friends, Morton's on the Move and Drivin' and Vibin'. And so we have a couple of other blogs that we publish content under. And actually, big news, which we've already released, but I'll like to share it here.
Yeah, that's true.
We actually started off, we created a in-person event called RV Buyers Boot Camp. And we did our first in-person seminar session teaching boot camp thing on how to buy an RV right before the Tampa RV show in January of 2020. Horrible time to start an in-person training seminar group thing.
Yes.
We were just going to continue to repeat that before different RV shows, but then we pivoted and we created a online course platform with preparing to full-time, where we taught preparing to full-time online and Boondocking 101, and then partnered with some people to create other courses.
Yes, Ready to Road School
Yes.
and Mobile Internet Explained.
Yes, and so we were super excited, and we also shared all the other RV courses out there, and we created this website platform called RV Masterclass, which is a domain I bought like 7 years ago. I was so excited to finally use it, but we just sold that to RV Life. And so that was a lot of fun.
Very exciting.
First time we've ever sold anything to anyone, and so
yeah, we sold a business.
yeah,
That was our big thing this year. We're so excited.
We're entrepreneurs, I guess is
the short answer.
Yeah, we're actually entrepreneurs now.
Yes, exactly. So we're very diversified, to say the least.
Yes, we do everything we can.
Yes, and I wanted to throw this link up here that Tammy dropped in, and it is our newsletter. So if you go to getawaycouple.com/join the gang, this is where you can sign up to our newsletter. So it was actually, you could tell certain people are on certain platforms, and so it was a lot of people on YouTube that follow us, and they're like, where are you? Are you okay? Are you okay? But the people who are on our newsletter knew exactly what we were doing and where we were, because not only do we put content out every day, but every Friday I write a newsletter and I tell you where we were last week, where we're going next week, our favorite product that we use this week, a feature of whatever's happening either in our lives or just in the RV community, and then we do a quick recap of everything we released the week prior. So if the everyday newsletters are too much for you, you can just go to the bottom and say, I just want the Friday newsletter, and then you'll just get an email from us once a week. So that's also, I would say that is the best way to keep up with us now, just because it's so much easier for me every Friday to sit down and I just talk to you guys. I say where we are, what we're doing, and I just think that's the best way to get to know our lives, and I talk about things on there that are just maybe too short. We'll never make a video about it, but like last week we had some stuff fixed in the truck, and I just talked about it in our newsletter. And so lots of just little quick tidbits and tips and tricks and stuff on there that we don't share on YouTube because we can't make an entire video about our truck or
getting something fixed on our
working
truck,
or so I think that is the best way to keep up with that. So I'll throw that back up there real quick. And then I did see a question I wanted us to answer. Oh, here it is. We'll just replace it. Okay, perfect. So James said, what suspension do you have? I have a Transcend and I'm looking to upgrade.
You want me to answer that? All right, perfect.
Well, I'll answer it.
We have
the MORryde independent suspension.
I personally believe that would probably be overkill for your Transcend, but I'm not sure what it has by default. But usually, I think you can look into one of like the 3,000 level suspension upgrades. We absolutely love MORryde. We love the team there. We love the factory. Like, not a lot of times you walk through a factory and see like how they make things and how cool it is.
Yeah, they use a lot of high tech in their factory. I was blown away. And they're still a family-owned company.
Yes, the Moores.
The Moores, who own MORryde.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's just, I don't know, it's a great time there. So we like MORryde, and they have the CRE 3000. You can reach out to them directly to order it from them, or there are other places. We
do have a blog article, I think.
We do. On types of suspension. So.
Yes, all the different upgrades from MORryde too. So we love their products, so
check
we'll put that information out there.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you know all of these? Okay. Jen.
All of them.
Jennifer asks.
No, really though, we have from New York State Northeast. So Connecticut, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, kind of like that whole area.
On the agenda? Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Oh. Jason's doing our travel planning this
Ray
year.
doesn't look. She's given up. She doesn't even look at where we're going.
Analysis
She's just like,
paralysis is real, you guys. After 4 years of full-time RVing, some things get old, and like it sounds like such a first world problem, but travel planning gets old. So I gave up this year.
Yes, and I think a lot of it is we're working really hard this year right now, and then we're also having lots of fun with our friends. And so then the travel planning is like we're trying to like cram that into our available time, and so it's just a little bit of chaos. So
yes, absolutely. So I wanted to ask Shannon.
All right.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the
camp.
VA in there.
I mean, we'll be passing through Virginia.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
All right.
We will note that down.
Look that up.
Devil's Backbone Brew Camp. That sounds right up our alley.
Which reminds me, we got to be careful reading some of these things. Someone was trolling us in the last live, telling us to read these books or something. I forget what it was, but I want to thank Jared for noticing it and telling us who we were traveling with.
Yeah, it was very innocent. It was like, oh, what?
We would have never picked up on it.
And we said it out loud, so they got us.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, have you ever seen the documentary, like, blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
And when we said it out loud, it was like, what was the name?
It
was
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it was one of those, like...
if you said it fast enough, it said, like, a bad word.
Yeah. It was good.
Very immature, and we laughed very hard after, but we got trolled.
Yeah.
So it happens.
What is your... I got this one. Hate it.
I'm going to read the question. If you're familiar, what's your opinion on the Anderson Hitch?
Hate it. So, 2 parts. The Hitch, I know it sounds so great. I know, and that's fine because this is the hill I'll die on.
Oh.
All right, 2 parts. One is the company itself is run by the Anderson family. This is the first part, I guess. Is run by the Anderson family, and the main guy who's running the company went to
Arches National Park.
No, outside of Arches, Corona Arch.
Oh.
And carved into the famous Corona Arch, which is right outside Arches National Park, like Anderson and his wife, drew a heart. Yeah, it was like something stupid.
Yeah.
So, number one thing, I'm like, come on,
but
this
then
is ridiculous.
Also, wasn't it Carlsbad Caverns?
It wasn't Carlsbad, but somewhere else.
Another cavern.
Yes, but we tried to find this. I haven't been able to fact check this one, but I swear to God, we read somewhere where this same guy.
Well, that's true. So anyway. The other part is definitely true. You can find news articles about it.
Yes.
He got fined. He got in trouble by the National Park System for defacing an arch. But then I did read somewhere, and I was actually trying to find the source the other day, that he had, in a cavern, broken off like a stalagmite. And, yeah.
And took it, yeah. So it's
anyway.
just kind of like the gall, or what's the entitlement? It's like the entitlement.
Campers.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I don't jive with that, like with the entitlement of just going to like a famous arch that gets photographed. Like we have pictures of this arch because we took the hike out there, and it was like a line of people, and all these people are having fun, taking beautiful pictures, and this guy's carving into it. And it's like, come on.
Grow up.
Yeah, like this isn't a picnic bench in a park or something, guy. So that's the first thing. Yeah, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Second thing is the Anderson Hitch is what connects your truck and your trailer, and so I understand the want for something light and flexible. It makes it so easy to take it out and not have to worry about it. And I know the Mortons on the Move used to use an Anderson Hitch, absolutely. But for me, I would not trust my RV to just a couple of little flimsy beams that you can get up and down. And so I like a firm handshake, a traditional fifth wheel hitch.
Yeah.
Our favorite is the B&W Companion because you can still remove it. But yeah, it's hard, and quite frankly, I think it should be just a little bit hard to lift this thing out, because every time I do that, it makes me feel safe and secure when we're towing it down the road, that if I have to tap on the brakes, this thing's not just going to crumble. Anyway, soapbox off.
All right. And on a lighter note, Jonathan asked us how the biscuits and gravy were from Rooster in St. Louis. Figured that was just a real good switch there. They were great.
Just what we needed.
Yeah. I'm going to admit to you, I think it was the night before was the ball game.
Yeah. And
we had...
all you can drink at the ball game. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
We actually had to price it out. We were like, is this going to be worth it? Like, how many hours do we get? And is it really unlimited? And what do you get to drink? It was absolutely worth it.
It was totally worth it. But anyway, the biscuits and gravy were great. So, like, the perfect next day after drinking food. We love St. Louis. All the food there was just fantastic. The ghost tour was spooky. The architecture was phenomenal. So we highly recommend St. Louis. Definitely. So I don't know what time this was sent, but Ron said, late to the party, I'm finally here. So thanks for joining us, Ron. Yeah. Glad you're here with us. This is a good idea.
Yes.
So we were talking about the ice cream in the refrigerator earlier. He said get a portable freezer.
Yep.
And hey, if you're an ice cream lover, I think a portable freezer would be totally worth it.
We have...
Dometic has like a 12-volt freezer, right?
We have an article on the best portable freezers that you can get on Amazon, and I would absolutely love to have one, but we don't have the carrying capacity. So
exactly.
We toe a very fine line, and there's not room for a ice cream fridge currently.
Yes. So then speaking on the topic of refrigerators.
So this is something a lot of people do. Are you thinking about a 12-volt compressor refrigerator?
I'm worried that maybe it's not big enough for certain people to read. So I want people to follow along.
All right. So are you thinking about a 12-volt compressor refrigerator? I have been thinking about it for a very long time. I don't think so. We really like the ability to run off propane because we drain down our batteries all the time because we don't look at them and don't think about it. By all the time, I mean like once every 6 months we will drain our batteries all the way down because we're just running everything in our RV. Like we have the AC going right now. This is on batteries. And so it's just one of those things where it won't matter right now. I know we're at 100% earlier, but it looks like the clouds are out a little bit outside. And then Starlink has taken some power. So overnight, that's usually when it happens. So no, but they are very efficient and they work very well. I know there's, I think it's like JC's Refrigeration is the one. I know the Morton's on the Move did replace their compressor as one of the early ones, and he really, really liked it.
Yes. I don't know if they have an article about that, but you could go to mortonsonthemove.com, use their search feature, and that for like 12-volt refrigerator, and if they have an article, it'll be there. They also produce daily content, so sign up to their newsletter while you're at it. I want to talk about this.
No.
Do you have a portable ice maker?
We have no counter space. I would.
Jason wants one so bad.
Literally and there was that Opal Nugget ice maker for sale over Black Friday, and I was like this close to pulling the trigger. And I honestly, I was talking about it the other day. I have regrets for not doing it.
I know.
But
maybe it'll be a Christmas present.
Do you remember what we were thinking about though? Why we didn't get it?
Not enough counter space?
No. For what our future entails.
Oh, you're going to transition into that.
So, we were talking about what we want to do in the future, and one of the things that we are currently thinking about is buying a house. And so we're not going to stop RVing. It's just been in the back of our minds since the beginning of
the
pandemic. And we want property. So we were originally thinking of just a place to put the RV, and then we were thinking of a pole barn, and then we were thinking about where would we put it, and we spent all this time in Texas, and we had three tornado warnings along the 10, or I-10 as you non-Californians call it. And so we were like, there's tornadoes all the way down in San Antonio, which my sister lives there, and she was like, oh no, there's nothing ever like that. And then it happened while we were there. So anyway, we took that as a sign of scratching San Antonio and southern Texas off the list. And so we're looking at property in Orlando.
Yes.
So to park our RV, to
stretch our legs
in the winter. Yeah, because in the winter, it depends on how you RV full time, but for us, we always like to settle down in the winter. So we've traditionally been boondocking, or the last 2 years we've spent them up in Acton, California at the 1,000 Trail. Being in an RV is not having to be cold. Also,
true.
Yeah, so anyway, so we're looking at Orlando. It's the top of our list. We are also looking at Lake Havasu, but I think we can get better bang for the buck in Orlando, and I love Disney and Universal, so that's just a thing. Plus, there's so much to do in Florida.
Yes.
Anyway. So,
yes, and I just wanted to show how on top of it Tammy is. She's adding links as we're mentioning them. These were not given to her. So if we're talking about specific topics, she will most likely be putting blog articles that we have on this topic. She is amazing. So just wanted to give her another quick shout out. All right, so let's see here. Oh, come to West Virginia.
Oh, so, we will, actually.
So it's kind of weird, though. I feel like West Virginia is going to be our last state. Just how it's happened to work out with our travels over the last 4 years. Like, we just somehow keep going around West Virginia.
Well, we passed through the edge of it, but we don't count it unless we go there intentionally to explore it. Driving through it does not count.
Yes. Oh, is this...
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Paulette. It was nice to meet you, too. I'm glad that you guys said hello and we got to chit-chat for a bit.
Yeah. I hope your, what are they called? Lighthouse tour is
going well.
Going well.
Yes.
Yeah. We saw one out here and we thought of you.
We did.
We're like, there's a lighthouse. Yeah, so that brings up, if you do meet us out in the campgrounds or see us outside of our RV, feel free to wave and say hi.
Yes.
We appreciate not knocking on the door.
Well, only because if you do, you're most likely going to catch us in our pajamas.
Yeah, very much so. But if we're outside, say hi all you want. We will be more than happy to talk to you, say hi, stop, chit-chat.
Yes. I actually feel like that's happened more this year than any other year. And it doesn't anger us. Like, I want that to be very clear. But it's vanity. Like, it's embarrassment to, like, open your door at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and be, like, in your pajamas still. And then if someone asks to take a picture, we're never going to say no. So there are some pictures out there of me in full-on PJs. But whatever.
Yep.
It is what it is. I don't mind.
How's that one?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it. Wish I had one.
You didn't read the question again.
Any opinion about the Reese Goose Box? Love it. Wish I had one. If you are looking for something where you can have a clear bed, the Reese Goose Box is a great option. I do know that one is fine with Lippert in terms of like your frame warranty. If you're out of warranty, or you can talk to your manufacturer about, I think this other one, Gen Y, is another company that does the same thing, where it's replaces your pin box with a, what is that thing called? So it can go into the ball in the bed of your truck.
Yes.
And so I love it. Tom Morton has a Gen Y, and he absolutely loves it. He replaced his Anderson, and he still doesn't have any like hitch mucking up the bed of his truck.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Great option.
Definitely. Teresa is here. Hi, Teresa. And she asked us, my husband would like to know if you guys get a teeter-totter effect when you pull your rig with your dually. So we call that, we've heard it called a couple of different things. We call it porpoising.
Or chucking.
Or chucking, yes. And we used to.
Yes. We have slowly dialed in our system with the independent suspension. And so you have to mess with your suspension, which I know you guys just got the independent suspension. You might have to make some adjustments up at the hitch or kingpin. So we actually have a Flex Air kingpin that has like an airbag on the front, and so we see the fifth wheel like compressing the airbag and like the shock going up on the hitch, and then also our B&W handles a little bit of that movement, so we don't feel it in the truck. So you can also make sure it's like up at the same correct level, that your hitch is back and forth at the same level. Like there's so many little adjustments you can make until you don't get it, and that's true with any suspension. But no, we don't. We did when we first got on the road, and I'm so glad that these systems just magically worked their way out, because we would have lived with it for a couple of years and just been mad.
It's just how we handle things. All right, battery or solar? What's your preference?
So
I mean, they're so independent.
What do you want to do? If you're going to spend money, if you're looking at where you're going to put your money, batteries 100%. Batteries let you extend your life, I guess, where solar's cheap to put on for the most part. It's the batteries that cost the money. So I would definitely spend my money on more batteries, because then whether you have good, like we've had pretty cloudy weather for the last couple of days, so even though we have 2,000 watts of solar, we have to run our generator every 3 days, and so that's what batteries let you do. Where if you have like 1 or 2 batteries, and even if you have 2,000 watts of solar, if it's not sunny, you're going to be running your generator. And so it's kind of like, for us, I would rather run my generator every 3 days. You don't even need solar if you have batteries, right? You can still just run your generator every 3 days for a couple hours, top off your batteries, and you're good to go. Anyway, so.
Yeah. Definitely.
Solar's nice, though. It's kind of like it helps you put it on autopilot. You don't think about it.
I like this response from Rich. This is when we were talking about people knocking on our door. How about if we stand outside your door for hours waiting for you to come outside? I would prefer it if you just knocked then. You could get the PJ picture and you don't have to waste your time. That's so funny, though.
And we sit here, like, working. Like,
we would see
right
you.
Here. Yeah.
Yes. We would probably be like, someone's been outside for like 30 minutes. What's going on? Yes.
Let's see.
So this is true.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
should I put that up there?
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so we talked about it. The B&W turnover ball gives you full bed access if you have the goose box. Love it. Our truck actually came with it. It was something I really wanted, and then it just magically happened to be on our truck. So I kind of like, we lucked out. And the great thing about that is, if we do ever just put the goose box on, we can already put, like, we already have the availability to just use it. Or with the turnover ball, like right now, you put the companion hitch in the same hole. So it's really nice. Like, you can use either or.
Yes, I just wanted to see on my phone real quick. Sometimes certain
Careful.
things don't come through. I know. I was
You start getting Ray turned on the live on her phone. That's when you can start getting crazy feedback.
I just wanted to make sure, because sometimes, occasionally, with this app, super chats don't like come through. We use an app to do our live. So I just wanted to make sure if anyone had sent us a super chat, I wanted to be sure to thank them and
I think
anything like that.
I think it shows in the comments.
Oh,
but anyway,
okay, perfect.
Do that one right there, that bottom comment.
This one?
Yep. Knowing the Mortons so well, have you ever considered a composting toilet?
are we being like brutally honest or just?
You can just be honest. You don't have to go to the full extreme.
I just didn't know how open I should be about this topic.
Be open. How many composting toilets have you used?
So this is the thing. I've used one. I've used the Morton's.
Okay. You didn't use Cal Olivia's?
No. I don't think I ever went to the restroom in their rig. But I did use the Morton's composting toilet. And the thing is, I think it's so personal. The Mortons love their composting toilet. And we love our black tank. And I think one use isn't fair, like a fair judgment. Like I feel like I'd have to maybe go through the full process of what does it really like to use it and what.
Why do they like it though? I guess it's differences in travel style.
Yeah, so they like it because they can boondock longer.
Indefinitely
With a composting toilet. Yes, because you can actually get rid of when you separate. I don't know how politically correct to be. When you separate number 1 and number 2, you can dispose of it differently than when they're together, because that's when they're together it makes more of a chemical reaction. That's what's more toxic and needs to be disposed of properly. So you can actually take like your compost and either you can throw it away.
Throw it in a trash can.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
so
dirt.
You can boondock longer. They do have this property up here, so that's easier for them. Like we had to use our tote and
so they don't have to do this. But
I didn't film. I should have filmed.
We spent like 4 hours dumping into we have a 28-gallon Rhino tote. Mm-hmm. Dumping into this tote and then having to lift 30 gallons, or 28 gallons, which is about 200 pounds, into the bed of our truck because we don't have a mast or any pump or any of that stuff.
To then go drive it across town to the dump station, lift it out of the truck. And yes, I know someone's going to say this before we even get there. You can get a pump and you can
like $300
pump.
So, yeah.
And I was like, I don't want one more product that has black tank water run through it.
Yeah.
So anyway, and we don't do this very often. This is the very first time we've had to use our tote for our black tank.
So moral of the story is it's very personal preference.
So personal.
How do you want to travel? If you they like to sit up here on their property that doesn't have hookups, stationary. Mm-hmm. They have a place that they can drain their gray water, right? Like taking a shower and all that. Mm-hmm. But they can refill their fresh water, no problem. They'll just continue refilling it, but they don't need to move or do anything with their black tank because it's composting. So it really is a personal preference thing. It is not our preference.
Right.
Yeah. We would rather spend 4 hours lifting.
I think you're just a little more hands-on with your waste. If we weren't on a live, I feel like I wouldn't be hesitating so much, but you're just a little more hands-on with your waste as well. And so some people don't care about that. I think we've gotten a lot better talking and dealing with our black tank, but I feel like taking it to that composting toilet takes it to the next level of how comfortable are you with?
Yeah. And also, I mean, the way we travel though, black tank, you're so used to it. We've been doing it for 4 years now.
Yeah.
Oh, it is working up there. See the thing?
Oh. Well, let me close this.
Thanks, Mom. I appreciate it.
Jesus, Mom. Thanks, Joanna.
So we've been dumping our tanks for 4 years, and it's just part of life. And the way we travel, we're almost always near a dump station. We don't boondock for longer than 2 weeks, and that's about the time it takes for us to fill up our black tank, personally. Mm-hmm. And so it's just never a problem for us.
Right, but we've been on the Morton's property for longer than 2 weeks.
This is the first time we've been somewhere for boondocking for
longer than 2 weeks, yes.
In the same spot.
Yes, we've actually boondocked for 100 days in a row, which I'm really proud of.
But we're usually
moving.
So
you go from one boondocking location to the other, and along your travels, you find a dump station, and you refresh your water, you empty your tanks, you're good to go. So yes,
I saw another one there. Zara did a super chat. Thank you so much. We very much appreciate it. There we go.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're great.
You're great. We're just here to answer your questions.
Yes. Yeah. And as you could tell, some of these topics we're really getting heated about. So, okay, this question is from Nancy, and she said, do you have issues more often than not with your big rig finding camping spots? No, you know, I mean, this is all we've ever known. So occasionally if we're late, like, or we forget a holiday and then we're like, oh man, next week's the 4th of July and we don't have anywhere to go, we'll have a harder time, which is why we started to learn that lesson the first year on the road, and that's why we at least wanted batteries and an inverter so we could start boondocking or staying in Walmart parking lots or Cracker Barrels for those days that we totally forgot to plan something. But yeah, I think if you plan ahead, which is when we did, you shouldn't have a problem. I know campgrounds are a little more crowded now with everyone who, you know, picked up an RV the last year and a half, but I still think if you sit down and you plan ahead, you'll be totally fine.
From 31 to 36, probably not. Honestly, it's like 38 plus is where you start to get more limited.
Yes.
36.
And we're 42, so if we can find spots at 42, you should be good at 37.
Yeah, you just get less picky.
Yeah, you get less picky. You might not get the best sites, but at least you have a site. And then Slow Momentum asked, how many batteries do y'all have? So we have 6 Battleborn batteries, the 100 amp hour ones. And we have 2 inverters, 2 Victron 3000 watt inverters. And we have 2,000 watts of solar.
Yes.
Anything else? Okay.
No.
Yes.
And if you want to see our system, we actually haven't done a video since we've upgraded from 1,200 watts of solar to 2,000 and all that jazz. So the Morton's on the Move just did a video on our system. So head over there and check it out. You can just see me and Tom talking about it.
Why are you whispering?
You know, because
sometimes Jason's conversational tone just turns into this really casual whisper.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then to tack on to this, just to expand on what we just talked about, have there been any campgrounds you wanted to go to but knew you couldn't? So that's what they meant by that question. I think the only thing I can think of is national park campgrounds, which originally we didn't want to go to because most of them don't have cell service, so we couldn't work. And now that, you know, we're working solely for ourselves and Jason doesn't have his full-time job, we would like to double back and go to some other national parks.
And stay in them. And now that we have Starlink, we can do both.
But there are still national parks that we could not fit into, which is unfortunate. Lots of them, because a lot of these parks were made a long time. The campgrounds were built a long time ago, and they just didn't have rigs this big back then.
Not gonna bring this thing to Yosemite.
No, but I can't think of any campgrounds that we've really wanted to stay at, and then we find out we can't because of our rig size. I think most of the campgrounds that aren't national parks have accommodated to bigger RVs.
Click on that. Did you watch that?
No, did you?
Did you happen to see the
Hanks?
Happily Ever Hanks?
Yes.
Tree limb versus grand design incident. In your opinion, is it fixable, and would GD help them find someone to do the work, or do they have to find a GD dealer? So there.
Did you watch the video?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What happened? You got to tell me these things.
So a tree fell on their RV and crushed the corner cap, and then the corner and kind of
Did it separate from the wall?
Oh,
the
yeah,
end cap came off?
It looked like it got not, it didn't come, the end cap didn't come off, it was just in the corner, it was just like broken open. So like that's where the So they're similar to us. So we're Grand Design ambassadors, but the Hanks are actually Grand Design influencers. And don't ask us what the difference is. Influencers, there's more than one influencer, but there's only one ambassador. Anyway, so I just watched that video last night.
Oh. Well, I'm sure Grand Design, to answer your or do you want to finish
Is
your
it
sentence?
fixable, and would Grand Design help them find someone to do the work? Most likely. They are going to the Grand Design rally, so most likely because they're influencers, Grand Design, that's kind of like one of the only perks we get. Theirs is a little bit different than ours. Anyways, there's different perks for being in our position of ambassadors versus influencers.
And one of our perks is warranty work.
Right? Like an extended warranty from them.
I want to clarify, since we're on this topic, and I feel like we always circle back to this. We do not get paid by Grand Design to say or do anything. So, yes, we get warranty work done on our rig, and that's how we got our hydraulics replaced. And
all that.
I feel like I just have to keep repeating this because we get so many new people that think like, oh, well, you're paid by Grand Design. We don't trust your opinion, but we're not paid by Grand Design. They don't pay any of their ambassadors or their influencers. Yep. So, yes, and it doesn't matter, I guess, to also separate this. When you go to the Grand Design National Rally, you get a form and you get to put down 3 things you want fixed on your rig, and they will schedule it because they shut down the factory during the rally and they bring all of their workers to the rally, and you will see them. They have all their trucks, they have all their equipment, they're on golf carts, and they are working their butts off, and they are getting they are working on all of the work orders. So I'm sure Happily Ever Hanks will, if it's not fixed already, will get this fixed at the rally.
Definitely not fixed at the rally. This is a little bit...
You don't think so? Well, maybe they'll come before or
Well, you
after.
haven't seen... Yeah.
I haven't seen it,
Yeah, it's...
It's bad?
Yeah, it's
like
definitely...
Bad.
It's definitely... it depends.
But it's fixable.
They will get it reviewed by Grand Design there.
Okay.
It's definitely fixable. I mean, these things are built so they can be fixed. It's just a wall. So, like, worst case scenario is they replace the roof and they replace the wall. That's, like, on the far end. I mean,
that would be the extreme.
Oh, absolutely.
Again, I haven't seen the picture, but for them to replace the sidewall and replace the end cap, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, it looks...
It looks bad.
It looks...
Okay.
Yeah, so,
we'll go
moral of the story is... Yeah, and I did see that in the video they said they're talking to their insurance, so they could get it fixed through that or totaled or something, right? You don't know.
Oh my gosh, I need to go watch this video now.
I mean, they put like 100 layers of a Turnabon tape on it. But
poor guys.
And so it's working, but I don't know, like structurally, I would be nervous myself personally. Anyway, go check out the video if you haven't seen it. It's they have, I think, 2 videos on the topic.
Yes.
One where they leave you with a cliffhanger, and then one where they just go right into explaining what happened.
Sure.
So, yeah.
All right. It was a long-winded answer. But Jonathan said, how often do you get stuck having to boondock in a commercial parking lot because you are unable to find a regular camping spot? I would say at least once a year. We forget the holidays.
When does that happen?
The holidays.
No, we've never had a holiday where we have to go to a Walmart. This happens when we've never had a night where we were actually
our first year
travel planning something and we didn't. No,
yeah.
We've never had to go to a where and when.
Maybe we found a place. I have a vivid memory of our first year on the road, like freaking out because we had left a rally. Actually,
it was the Grand Design National Rally, but where did we stay? We
stayed
did
at
not
the fairgrounds. We extended our stay at the fairgrounds, right?
No, we went to the Cleveland Fairgrounds or the other Ohio fairgrounds, and we went and we had Oktoberfest.
Well, that's
true. So that was what
But then there was another year where we did extend our stay at the fairgrounds. I remember that because
yes. So
someone else extended their stay. Anyway.
haven't had a night where we were like intentionally looking for places to stay that we got stuck at a commercial park, because there are so many places and so many campgrounds available. It's only when we're traveling through, so our options are limited. So it's like, oh, hey, we've been driving for 8 hours and we're ready to pull off the road, and within the next 50 miles, there's nowhere. Because within a 300-mile radius, like if you're starting your day, you're trying to find somewhere to park, you could find somewhere within 300 miles to park overnight, whether it's a free boondocking spot or a regular camping spot, or like there's county parks, city parks. There are even like casino campgrounds, right, where it's like it's a parking lot. You're pretty much paying to be in a parking lot with hookups, but you're not boondocking in a Walmart parking lot. So there's billions of options out there. Only on travel days we go, who cares? Spend the night.
True.
But
also, my memory is not the best.
Yeah. It is nerve-wracking sometimes, especially over the last year. You're like, oh man, where are we supposed to go? But
yes. So, I don't know if a couple people joined a little bit later, but all of a sudden we just got like a bunch of Starlink questions in a row. So, we'll throw those on here. So, for your Starlink, how does it work to update your address so that it works as you travel? Do you run into availability issues, and how are the speeds?
Just got it, but we had it shipped to our Texas address and then sent up here to the Morton's property.
So, you were only...
Yes.
I think you did some loophole stuff.
I don't want to talk about that.
We have our mailing address in Texas, and so Starlink was available there, which is how we were allowed to even buy it.
Yes.
So we bought it. We had our mail forwarding company forward it to us up here in the UP.
Yes.
And then Jason was trying to like set it up with the address that we're at, and it kept saying that it was full. Right?
Correct.
Okay. And then...
You're going to give my secret out that I just learned, but that's fine.
Okay, well, I will.
No?
We'll leave it as a cliffhanger.
You guys are going to have to read our article. No,
well, I can... you found another address.
I found a loophole that works with the availability issues that we were having.
Yes.
And so we were able to get it connected, even though the cell we're currently in is full.
Right.
That being said, the speeds are awesome. It's like 200 down, 20 up. We're surrounded. The Mortons have a pine tree farm, used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the pine trees are massively tall. And so we're in a big clearing, but there are some that are blocking the very edge. Like the Starlink app, you go out there and you point it at the sky and it shows like wherever you are where it needs to see of the sky. And so they're kind of like on the bottom edge, and so every like 20 minutes or so it loses connection.
Yes.
And then it comes back, but that doesn't matter unless you're doing a live
stream. Yes. And then we basically answered this, but this was the other Starlink question of if it's mobile now. Technically, it's not.
No, but they did just release, or they requested from the FCC to do a more ruggedized mobile Dishy McDish face is what they call it, I believe.
Is that the official name?
Yeah, it's their official name.
Dishy McDish face?
Yeah, something like that. And so the new one will be a little bit more rugged and available to withstand like colder and hotter temperatures and all that jazz. But
yes.
Yeah.
And then Cross Country RV Tech and Solar said, I'm afraid Starlink is going to make boondocking even more popular, which in turn is going to make it even tougher to find a spot. Some spots we find open is only because there's no service.
I agree.
Yeah.
However, that just means that hopefully we will get more infrastructure built into the vast areas of nobodies. It's one of those things where it's like we technically have no more right to go boondocking than someone who's just starting boondocking tomorrow. And so,
as long as they're respectful
well, yes,
of the land.
And so I think that should be a big part of it, right? Always. I think a lot of our boondocking places should have more infrastructure. Imagine if there was big dumpsters at the outlet of every single big boondocking place, like they do in Quartzsite every year, and like just adding a little bit of facilities helps people not be bad. And so anyway, yes, it will be tougher in the short run because more people are going to be able to do it, but quite frankly, more people getting out there in nature and enjoying their time, not stuck in cities or doing their normal life, the better.
Yes.
In the long run, hopefully.
And I do think as more people are going back to the office and international travel is gonna be opening again, I think that we'll be seeing less people in the RV space. I don't know how much less, but I know a lot of people turned to the RV niche to satisfy that travel bug, get out of the house, spend quality time with their family, and still feel safe.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword, and we feel it the most because you guys get all of our favorite boondocking spots and all of our tips and tricks, and let me tell you, we see them used a lot. So,
we do.
1,000 Trails. Everyone's like, oh, it's great. I'm like, I know it's great.
And then when we can't get a spot in 1,000 Trails Park, we're like, we've talked about it way too much.
Get Trails Collection. You can go down to the Florida Keys, and then we can't get any reservations.
Well, the Florida Keys are hard enough anyway, but yeah.
But yes, I agree. But it's, I always feel it's a double-edged sword.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. So, just to quickly tack on to that Starlink thing, do I need to buy Starlink now with a $99 deposit or wait for the purchase option?
The $99 deposit means it's not available at the address you're submitting it with. And so you can do that, and then when they get more availability in that specific segment, then they'll ship it out to you. Dishy, all right, go ahead. Thank you, Tom or Caitlin. Dishy McFlatface is the appropriate name.
I love that you guys are in the RV right across.
And it's funny because they have Starlink as well, and so they're actually using their Starlink to go up to space, to go to YouTube servers in San Francisco, to get the data stream that we're streaming up to space back over to here, and it's just kind of crazy, and they're like 20 feet away. So anyway. Oh,
another one of our favorites. Hey, Chad and Tara. It's okay that you're late. We'll forgive you.
We understand.
Yes. Oh, I like this. Jason got real quiet when you get out. I know.
This is the same thing. I was just talking about how we give out our secrets all the time, and then things don't pan out. This has been like a week, so you guys are gonna have to wait for this Starlink secret. I need to test it in more than one area.
Yes.
And add
Natalie's
add Natalie's first.
Okay.
Yes. We see how much fun you're having down there in Florida.
Yeah, all your adventures, and we're like, this isn't quite fair.
Yeah, this is totally unfair. We need to go down there. So.
Yes. All right, and then this is a great question from Dan. What is the etiquette for generators and opening slides in Walmart and Cracker Barrel? So I'll tell Tammy real quick. We do have an article. I think it's called 6 Boondocking Rules for Walmart. So you can link that if you find it on our website. But the etiquette, as far as our understanding, is that you should not use generators in an RV. In a Walmart parking lot. I think onboard generators are a little bit different.
It's better.
They're better because they're a little bit quieter. They're internalized. They're in the structure of your RV. But external generators and contractor generators.
No way. I don't think we would ever pull our Harbor Freight generator. Even ours, ours is really quiet, but I don't think I would pull any portable generators
We would sleep with dead batteries before we pulled out our generator out of Walmart.
Absolutely.
And then opening slides. Now, this is something I was terrified of when we first started boondocking in Walmarts or Cracker Barrels or anything like that, was because I had read like do not do it, and I still advocate that. However, the one exception that we've learned is, and you can also, when you call and you ask the Walmart if you're allowed to overnight, ask them where they prefer RVs to stay. They'll normally tell you, oh, in the garden section of the parking lot, or oh, on the other side. They'll tell you like north, south, whatever.
Yeah.
So when we go where we're supposed to go, we try and park along the grass, because normally that's furthest away anyway, so you're not taking closer parking spots. But then if you're over the grass, you can typically open like your bedroom slide.
Yeah. So don't be in the way of anyone. Don't,
yes.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's etiquette stuff. So the generators, I mean, regular portable generators are super loud. Even on board is kind of like, you're not supposed to,
that.
but
yeah. I've just heard some Class A's with really quiet onboard generators, so that's why I'm saying that.
But yeah.
Open my second.
Right.
I don't know why I'm holding it out of frame, like you guys wouldn't have heard it just crack open. Anyway.
Yeah. It's effort to be a good person, moral of the story.
Yeah, and don't set up camp, like don't bring out the barbecue, don't bring out your chairs, like, and only stay for one night. Don't like overuse this, because a lot of Walmarts have been shut down because of certain RVers just taking full advantage, being rude, not following etiquette, not following these unspoken rules. And so Walmart, because it's Walmart to Walmart, it's not a nationwide rule, so they can say, you know what, we're done, no more RVers. And so we've noticed a lot more are not allowing RVers. So I think that was a fantastic question. Oh.
Do you guys share driving? Not really. I'm a very nervous passenger, and so I like to drive. It doesn't bother me. We have made sure that Ray can tow the RV.
Yes, I have driven before.
Yeah, she's taken a whole day driving across the 10 freeway somewhere in Texas because I had a headache. And actually in Arizona too. Remember that first time? Yeah.
Well, no, and I want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just wanted to know. I wanted to be sure that I could do it. And there have been some days where I'm like, I feel like driving today, or I feel like towing today. And so Jason will be like, okay.
Sure.
Okay. And then he's over there pushing the fake brake pedal, even though I'm
nothing.
Totally fine.
Yeah. I'm just a nervous passenger.
Holding on.
If I could relax, if I could sit there and scroll and on my phone, be on my phone and be relaxed, no problem. But that's not how I am as a passenger. Not just with Ray, but with anyone. I'm always alert. Oh, hey, look out for that. And so it's not relaxing to be a passenger. And so I just like to drive, being in control and I feel safer for my mental self.
Yes. Yeah. And I think this is a great point from Mr. Roboto. Wait until the border with Canada is open. A lot of pent-up demand for camping. Yep. Absolutely. I have to admit, I love our Canadian neighbors, but it's been so nice finding locations in the South over winter, like last year over winter, because we're late planners.
Yeah.
It was really nice because it's a double-edged sword, because they'd be like, yes, we have availability, come stay with us. And then you'd feel bad when you check in. They're like, oh, our Canadian campers aren't here and they're losing money. Yeah.
So we enjoy the last-minute planning. We enjoy
last-minute planning, but we do not like seeing hurt in the RV space, because this is our family. Let's see. Oh my goodness. All right. I actually feel like we covered all the and this. Yeah, I couldn't think of an answer for this.
Have you ever purposely changed your route so you could attend a public event or concert, and what was it? No, but we would. We just haven't.
No, but we would.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't our first year, we kind of pre-planned. We actually pre-planned a couple events. We went to Miami Ultra, and we did a couple of things. But then we've been so flexible over the last couple of years. We haven't really had a plan, and so there wasn't no changing our route to go to the RVX, which was like an RV expo. And,
well, and we did last
Green
year.
Designs
We were
rally.
in Colorado, and we were starting to get
Yeah.
FOMO. We had
right.
dinner with Changing Lanes, and they were like, "Well, we're going to the rally," and we were like, "We're not." And then like 2 days later, I was like, "We have to go to the rally." So we literally drove from Colorado to Indiana, attended the rally, and drove from Indiana back to Colorado so we could just finish the route we had planned out.
There
for
was
that
like
year.
3 to 4 weeks in between having dinner with Changing Lanes in South Dakota and us being in Colorado, but nonetheless.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Still. Yes.
We still changed our plans last minute. We didn't have any reservations though either, so.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. So I wanted to reiterate that you can join our newsletter. If you were missing us, you can get a dose of us that way. But we will be working on editing videos, or I will be working on editing videos and getting more content out for you guys. And, you know, we love our YouTube community. You guys are the best. So we're not going anywhere. I know a lot of people were starting to freak out that we hadn't posted a video in 3 weeks, but we are here.
We're
so you
just,
can...
having fun on the boat.
Having fun on the boat with the Mortons, yes. And we're going to have a lot of fun this week with Caitlin and my birthdays. So we're very excited.
And then a lot of fun the week after that in Hawaii with the Mortons and Kyle and Olivia and driving and biving. And so maybe keep a lookout.
No,
you can start editing.
no,
All right.
we are going to
We're
get
gonna
them
do
done.
it.
We're going to get them done. All right. Well, join our newsletter anyway. You can go to getawaycouple.com/join-the-gang to join us there. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel somehow, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. But other than that, thank you so much for spending an hour and a half with us tonight. This is a long live, but we've missed you, and we really loved answering all of your questions. So I hope we were able to get to your question. I tried to answer every single one, but if not, I apologize. So we'll probably do another live in like 3 months. I feel like that's our MO, is quarterly. So
Maybe quicker now that we got Starlink. Usually it's internet-based.
maybe. Yes.
We'll see.
All right, and if you have any recommendations for us in the New England area, feel free to email us at info@getawaycouple.com or hello@getawaycouple.com. We really appreciate that because we're firming up our travel plans over there. All right, well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your night, and cheers. And I hope you have a good rest of your week. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.